Okay, I'm live. Hey, someone's saying what's going on. How you doing this morning? You can always complain. That's free. That's one thing I've learned as I'm getting older. Complaining, you can absolutely do that. You know, no one listens. So, but that's what it is. I'm doing okay. Um, I didn't really have this in mind. I was just hanging out this morning and decided, I'm going to sit and draw anyway. I'm waiting on a new camera to get here. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. We'll see if that happens or not. Still trying to get my camera situation nailed down. So, but hey, I'm like, all right, I'm sit and draw and warm up and stuff anyway. So I may as well stream. And if people want to watch, they can. Are you working this morning? Or are you just kicking back or what? Kicking back today. I like that. Me too. Saturday. Um, yeah, kind of. I spend a lot of time kicking back though. I also have another sort of saying too, like I have plenty of time to sleep once I'm dead, and you know, and I'm very cognizant at this point. I used to take drawing sort of for granted, but then as I get older, I go, you may not always be able to do this. You know, things happen, health problems set in and stuff, and then people can't do these things anymore. So I got to take that time while I can too. I guess is what I'm getting at. And I don't really mind comics. I've always loved comics. I just don't like the comics business very much. I don't know what it is either. It's weird because the business is made up of the people that you like, but yet for whatever reason you don't like the business. It seems odd, but that's kind of how it is. Yeah, exactly. At this point, I'm just drawing for me, and that's kind of cool. Like to be able to take the ability that I have managed to put together and begin to use it on stuff that I like, stuff that I think is cool, stuff that I'm interested in pursuing and seeing happen. So it's weird. I'm starting to get story ideas for the first time in my life that are sort of my story ideas. They're not rip-offs of this or that or the other, and I don't know. It's just different. You're approaching it fresh again. I think the pressure is definitely a factor of it, though. The fact that I'm not having to do it on somebody else's deadline, the fact that, you know, I'm retired and I'm not trying to do it to put food on the table, you know? Well, you're seeing the beginnings of it now. This is how it happens, you know? You're sitting there drawing and you're thinking while you're drawing and you get these ideas and you come across a sketch or two that you like and that turns into another idea and then you're off to the races. But it all starts for me anyway with my hand moving. And then when I start drawing, that's when it begins to show up. If I'm just sitting around thinking about it, going, "Oh, what do I want to do?" And I'm not gonna come up with nothing. I'll sit around forever like that. Got my royalty free music on this morning. Courtesy of YouTube. They're nice to do that. No, I'm not drawing anyone in particular at the moment. I'm just sort of letting my mind wander as I draw something basic. Um, I'm not really good at drawing clothing and things, so I'm trying to get better at that, and I'm finding ways that I can ways that you can wind up drawing faster by putting clothing on them. I used to think, geez, that would really slow you down because you got to figure out all the stuff underneath and then put clothing over it. And yeah, you kind of have to do that, but in a way, you don't have to figure out as much because the clothing's covering it up. I don't have to figure out all this anatomy on the legs. I just have to figure out the parts that are going to show. So I'm looking at it a little differently. That and experimenting with working methods and trying to figure out what I'm doing, and also warming up. I'm probably going to be inking some of Rob's stuff here in just a few minutes, and just sort of doing some doodling, trying to get warm. Uh, all right, I think that's enough of that for now. Mm. Oh, well, I'm streaming now because what I'm doing is I'm sharing the screen that I'm on right now. Like if I minimize this, you get to see my YouTube thing go off in infinity. So I'm sharing my digital screen as my camera, sort of, on YouTube. I can still do camera, so I can still work on digital stuff and talk to you guys this way. But a lot of people seem to be real interested in seeing me do break out actual ink, actual pens, and do it on paper, and that's fine too. I don't mind doing that, but I kind of need the camera to work to do that. So, and the phone sucks. I'm not. Uh, that's not even worth it. Picture's so crappy on it, and plus you only really get sort of like a sliver of the screen. You don't really get to see anything. It's hard to keep in frames. All kinds of problems with the phone. So I probably will not be messing with that. However, this was inked on the live stream. Yeah. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Caffeine, not a bad idea. Definitely some supplements would be good. Reach into my vault here. See, and this is part of the reason why people like to see live stuff, because when I'm fumbling around, you can at least see that I'm fumbling around. If I'm doing digital like this, and everybody's just like, it's not moving or nothing. This music sucks. Mm, so I got those, and I got. Sorry. All right, cool. That's what I'm looking for. This live stream is not being sponsored. But I endorse Mike Tyson's Mike Bites. They're pretty awesome. You gave me the idea with the caffeine. I was like, caffeine sounds good. Nadius art? Am I saying that right? Hey, what's going on? Just hanging out this morning. Okay. A good dry brush for Clip Studio Paint. Um, Let me see. Sorry. Kind of chewing on some gummies here. Oh, I got you. Hmm. Let's see. The ones that you want to look at that I think are the best There's a guy on Gumroad by the name of Daub. You see here on my screen, Daub. If you just look up Daub brushes for Clip Studio Paint, he's got a set of brushes over there. I think they're like, I want to say they're like 15 bucks, maybe 20 bucks. And he's got great ones. I think they're awesome. I went ahead and got the whole shebang. That's like, his whole big bundle. And then the other ones that I like are the ones that Clip Studio Paint pushes all the time. The it's a gal. She goes by the one with the bear, and she makes sumi brushes. I forgot where I stuck my sumi brushes. So disorganized where I keep all this stuff. Four man's in uniform to carry. Hey, oh my muscle. Okay. Hmm. Gummy candies this morning. Oh, okay. I may not know that one. Earl Grey. Yeah, I can't drink stuff like that. It gives me a stomach ache. Even coffee now. It's no good. That's what happens when you get old. Yeah. Fate better not take your caffeine. Well, I didn't abstain from much of anything. I kind of did a little bit of everything. And now I get to pay for it. You think to myself, when you're determined to die before the age of 40, and then you make it past that, you've really screwed yourself. Nah, it could be worse. 16 pages and 8 to go. What kind of comic are you doing? Like, is it horror, sci-fi, superhero? Thriller is the closest genre. Yeah, I understand that. Like, if I had to call it something, I would call it George. Um, okay. No capes, etc. One character piece, some action in there. Right on. Sounds cool. Mm, Wait a minute. Next time you'd like to get an increase, you could put it out faster. Um, I don't know. I might do something like that too. This is a brush for the panel lines, for the panel borders. That is one of the Dow brushes, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I've got a big collection of brushes. So, but the ones that I find myself using the most are the Dow. That guy just seems to know what he's doing. Hey, what's up, Daniel Goodwin? How you doing, man? Nope, not digging that. Right there. Okay. Mm. Hang on a second here. That just sucks. I'm sorry. All right. Get you guys back up here. All right. What was I doing again? Oh yeah. DRX Gaming says hi. Hi. How you doing, man? Not the most exciting stream on earth. I do understand, but thanks for joining me anyway. Mm-mm. Text label's too small for an old man like you. Yeah, I had trouble sometimes too. But one of the reasons why I've dealt with it is it's just one of those things that I don't know. It just seemed very easy to work with for me. Much more like analog stuff. Whenever I've dealt with Photoshop or anything like that, it seems to slow me down to a crawl because it's so unlike actual drawing. And I don't have a Mac, um, so I've never tried Procreate. Uh, I know there's others, but the thing about this is having learned Photoshop, a lot of the shortcut keys to this are the same shortcut keys and things like this. So it was just real easy for me to just swap on over. Yeah, if you know shortcut keys in Photoshop to go back and forth between tools and things, the way I learned to do, Um, you know, it's the default keys and stuff. So I just kind of pick up and run. And I've got this that '70s keyboard, John the keyboard, and the other one on the stylus, and drawing away. And once I figured out um, that you could set up the keyboard, you could customize it. Well, I can do this rotate back and with my left hand just like I would if I was drawing on paper. So if I'm having to spin the paper around, then with the same hand that I'm used to. Um, so again, it's very much like uh, I'm trying to recreate my analog drawing experience as much as possible. I don't want that disconnect that you can typically get between the artist and the computer because they're getting better, and I understand that there are technical limitations to things like this, and they've gotten to the point where it's real similar. But I'm gonna tell you, I know people are gonna disagree with me. They're gonna be like, "Ah, it's the same thing." No, it isn't. Sorry, it's not. I've done both. Oh, you just don't have the right brushes. Nope, tried all the brushes too. Still trying brushes. Some of them work pretty good. It's still not the same thing. And this is coming from somebody who's with both analog and digital and has done a long time with it. So I, there's advantages. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm using it. If it wasn't worth using, I wouldn't be messing with it. Okay, you guys are gonna have to hang on just a minute. I got something going on here. I got to take care of. I'll be right back. Right back. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Mm-mm-mm. Taking a long time to get better at digital. Still pencil, all traditional. I consider it. Excuse me. I consider it a different medium entirely. It's like if you wanted to learn watercolor, your pencil skills aren't really going to apply there. That's a whole nother bucket of fish that you're dealing with. And I think digital is very much the same sort of thing. If you were going to take up oil painting, it's going to take some time to master it uh, and to uh, get any sort of mastery with it. There is a learning curve, from what I understand. See, and then there's stuff like this. Like I did this as a mistake. I'm actually working on the grayscale layer right here with these lines. But since I did it with the shine, it's breaking up the line a little bit. And I'm going, hey, I kind of like that. Was not expecting that. And you're back. Me too. No, see, it's not working for me. There we go. Keep it clean. How about try? Oh, asking Daniel Cooper. I've been interested in Krita too. I have not messed with it much. It takes so long to get one of these things down. Like, although I hear they're all kind of similar. See, the more you guys keep talking about that now, I'm like, oh, see, the text size wasn't bothering me before, but now it kind of is. Hey, D man, what's going on? Not pro status. What the hell does that even mean? I mean, at one time that meant something, but with Marvel Comics only paying $80 a page, I hear. Oh yeah, that's sounds like a shitty job. Why are you doing that? You know, like once upon a time, comics were kind of a cool gig, but the money wasn't awesome. But it was what it was. All about following. For some, it's just a matter of one sold a piece or not. Yeah, that's what I was always told. Like if you sold a piece and then somebody set the bar a little further and go, oh well, if you make your living from it, and then they go, you know, full time, then okay, then now you're officially a pro. And I'm like, you know what? Guess what? Even when you're quote unquote a pro and you've reached that bar, so what? You're still gonna struggle getting gigs. Like the way they set it up, the way it is these days, from what I understand, and the way it was back in the day, even if you're working with the same editor, okay, and you're working on the same book, then yeah, you don't have to worry about where your next gig's coming from, and there is no tryout or anything like that. But if you're bouncing around or your editor leaves, which happened a lot since I've been in the industry anyway, you're hunting for a gig always, like you're fresh, like you've never done a job before. So there's really no real advantage to quote unquote going pro necessarily. You know, it's like you kind of get to that mark and you go, "This is it, really?" No? Okay. Yeah, see, well, Liefeld too. That's the other thing. Like you get your foot in the door and you make a big splash like a guy like that did, and then they go, "Okay, well that's cool. You sold all these copies. Now do it again." So another comic shop just closed up. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Honestly, what I think should happen, anybody that's owned a comic book store that's gone belly up in the last 10 years, 15 years, guys should get together, get a lawyer, and file a class action lawsuit against Marvel and DC for the shit that they've been schlocking out. You got to push that crap out of your store. Meanwhile, you've had to supplement with fucking Beanie Babies and all kinds of other manner of fucking what was it they called the those little fucking Funko Pops? Those. Oh my god. You got to supplement with all this other shit because the comics suck and you can't sell them. And they know that they suck. They know that they suck. And they've got some of their editors playing stupid little games, trying to piss people off rather than just trying to produce sell. So, no, I don't know. I don't know. You would have to that uh, that they knew they were producing substandard material. They knew or they should have known that they were producing substandard material and putting that out to the comic shops for the comic shops to deal with whatever happens. Because I've heard them say it before. I heard lots and lots and lots of editors say it before, lots and lots of pros say it before. That the customers, the fans, are not customers. The comic shops are their customers. They're the ones placing the orders. They're the ones paying the. And once the comic shop cuts the check, they don't really give a shit whether that book sells or not. Oh, I agree. They have to know what to shop for their store. They do have to know what to shop for their store, and you have to know your audience and things like that. Yeah, see, and then you got the media trying to. I think honestly, it. I don't know who you would sue first, but I think Marvel and DC would be a good start for a class action because they knew or should have known that some of this material wasn't going to work. Okay, when you start doing some of this stuff that they do just to make people mad, yeah, yeah. But the thing is, not buying the crap that they put out, yeah, that's fine to punish the companies. That kills the shops too, though. That's the thing. That's the guys that I feel bad for. These poor bastards that have to stand next to this stuff like it's not a piece of shit. Man, really? Bad enough I can't sell it. I gotta pretend it's good too. Fat Jacks. I've heard of that place. The cartoons, the cartoonist kayfabe guys talked about that place. So I guess it's a beloved shop to a lot of people. Either gonna snap out of it and realize they're customer base, or they'll fail allowing up and comers to take over. Honestly, someone saying that's what I think is going to happen. I think that they're going to fail. They're going to fail in an epic way, and then that's going to basically chain reaction screw with the distributors and everything else. The whole system will have to change, and I really think that's what needs to happen anyway. So the way they've got this set up, well, here's the thing: you won't hear a lot of places talk about the way that they've got it set up was originally set up, comics business was set up heavy with mobsters and things like this, with the distributors not wanting to distribute books to certain stores and things like this because they didn't make payments. And it's always been kind of sleazy, um, the way they've done this stuff. So I really think that from the ground up, there needs to find a better way. I think digital is going to have to become something that, like it or not, people are going to have to wrap their mind around because the stores can't sell the stuff and maintain their overhead. You know, I have to figure out something. I'm glad I don't have to figure it out. There we go. Right now, I have to figure out how to get this going on. No, don't like that. That's got to go back. There we go. So I'm saying I absolutely agree with you. I think that it opens up a lot of possibilities. I think it opens up a lot of possibilities in terms of things that could be done. People are beginning to try and think out of the box when it comes to these things. And I think that's a good thing. Yeah, there's that's the thing. As long as it appeals, and I really feel that that's the key thing. You got to have something that's going to appeal. You got to get it in front of people, and to a certain degree, after a while, it doesn't matter that you know whether it's in a store, out of a store, or anything else. There's the web now. You'll pursue it. You'll look for it. It's your thing, and as long as it's not impossible to find, you're going to find it. And honestly, I think that's the better way around anyway. Everybody's been trying to lean on Marvel and DC for too long. Um, I understand that it doesn't really work without them, but it doesn't really work with them either. You know. Oh yeah, I heard that too. I heard that too. Disney might be dropping Marvel, but I don't know if I buy that or not. They're definitely going to let some of it go because it's not making any money. But I don't know. It just depends on whether or not they feel like they want to continue to do it enough to fix the problems. Uh, it might be to the point where that's the best way to do it is to outsource or to give up trying to do it. Like I think it's poisoned at an executive level to the degree that you can't get some of these people out because they've been there too long and they've got to say, but the things that they have to say are still stupid. It's still not going to sell. They're still not going to work. Well, you don't let it die. Yeah, you gotta outsource it, sell it off, parts of it off, or whatever to keep it alive. But you got to get it out from underneath the thumb of some of these folks that aren't creative, but they've been there so long you can't tell them that. Really, that was my. I've had people ask me many times, like, "Why did you leave the industry? Why did you leave the industry? Why did you walk away?" Too much bullshit. I love comics. I love the fans. I love a lot of people that work in comics. And then there's other people that work in comics that are just dicks. Like, man, so I don't know. I'm not going to get too far into it. If you hear some background sounds and stuff, everybody's taking off to the store. So I'm getting invaded a little bit here. In fact, I'm going to mute my mic for a minute or two until they get out of here. They're going to take off to the store and but I'll still be drawing and reading you guys' comments here. Oh, okay. I guess they're not taking off yet. They're just like fixing to take off. So it's the problem with trying to do this in a common room that people come through. But it is what it is. That's where my desk is. And balding weirdo Kevin Feige is in charge. Yeah. I don't know anything about that guy. Happy enough with Marvel up through Endgame. See, I didn't make it that far. I saw the Rise of Ultron, and they said, "Hey, you know what? In order to be able to understand what comes up next, you're going to have to watch Captain Marvel." And I went, "Nope. I guess I'm done." Because Brie Larson, in particular, made some remarks that I thought were just horrible, just disrespectful. She's not in. She's not interested in middle-aged white guy opinions. And being that she's, that she was getting ready to star in a franchise that was mine, so to speak, like my sort of thing. I'm a fan of, you know, like how dare you out here? I don't care who those fans are. You got to respect them. Yeah, she was talking about A Wrinkle in Time. That is true. And I suppose I shouldn't have cared. You know, bump the level of this thing down a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I shouldn't have cared, but it's just the whole mentality behind it. Like, really? You're going to say something like that? Like, okay, what if I said that I wasn't that I wasn't interested in some other race's opinion or some other like, okay, uh, I'm not interested in little Asian girls' opinions or whatever. People are gonna flip out, man. And I'm like, okay, look, man, just because I'm white doesn't mean it's okay to be a dick, okay? I'm sorry, I can't get behind that. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want, Mom? Show me. What do you want? What? The dog's flipping out. What? Okay. Now that she's done messing with the dog, I can actually unmute the mic. The only reason I tried them is because they were only. Okay. Let's see. I'm not digging that. Uh, all the way out of that. Come on, all the way. Try something else here. Hmm. change it to, how about if we do lines? And we do them way far apart. Okay, they're going to be coming through here in a minute, I think. Although that's what I heard a minute ago, so who knows. But if I go quiet on you, we're not having connection problems yet. Hopefully. How long have we been streaming now? Hour and 26. Didn't watch the Little Mermaid remake. Oh my crap. Yeah, I agree, man. But you can say that with most things. Like, what? Just because it's popular, I mean, it's good. And that goes back to the days of call a real blast from the past. Back to the days of Betamax. The Betamax was a superior machine, but because that guy didn't want to play ball with Sony, they made their own, the VHS, and that guy was screwed. His thing became a joke. Mm. Oh wait, that's no good. Um, I was trying to throw it by hand because I always try and throw it by hand first, but it just looks more natural to the lines, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and break out there we go, the curve. No, forgot what color I had up. There we go. No, okay. I don't know where I went wrong here, but Ooh, I like that better. Ah, how many people got in here now? 3. That's cool. I'm glad you guys joined me this morning. I didn't announce this or anything, so. Nope, that's not going to work with this shit. Hmm. Thanks, D-Man. I'm borrowing a page from Bob Layton. Yeah, I'm going to vary it up a little bit, though. Nope, that ain't working. There we go. Now, I think I'm gonna have to stuff you got to do zoomed all the way out. Nope, she gonna blew it. Mm, there we go. They can't sue over this. You'd have to get into a lot more than this. Just having a guy with claws, and there's no housing around this or anything around the claws like Wolverine's got on his glove. Ready that kind of stuff. So that's clearly not Wolverine, and there's no way anybody could be confused that that's Wolverine. He's just a guy kind of like Wolverine. And hell, I was looking at a comic just the other day that had that going on. I was looking at that question omnibus that I got, that I showed you guys, and sure enough, the questions in there are like messing with a guy that looks a lot like Wolverine. Now they put a scratch near his eye to get him, and they don't have his hair teased up and the little horns. It's like laying down more, but he's got the mutton chop sideburns and everything else and the bad attitude. There's no doubt it's Wolverine. You say whatever you want, but Okay, and we're running into that time because these two panels down here, I'm going to have to scan in. Um, yeah, I've never heard of that character. Who's Warblade? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I almost inked a Warblade miniseries. They had Scott Clark draw one, and then for whatever reason they pulled it. I didn't get a chance to do it. All right, I've been streaming for about 2 hours now, so I think I'm gonna end this one here before it decides to crash on me. I appreciate you guys joining me this morning. Um, I'll probably work on this page a little bit more today. These bottom two panels I inked analog, so I'm going to scan those in, and then we'll pop those into place later and touch them up. So, and I'm definitely still planning whether I do it digitally or what. I probably am going to do it digitally like this. I'm probably going to do the stream tomorrow morning as well. Probably about I don't know 9:30 Mountain Mountain time. Yeah. So anyway, thanks to everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you. Have a good one. Bye.